Hey everyone, we're going to learn how to ask for favors and do favors for other people. And in order to do that, we actually just need to learn a few verbs. All three of these verbs mean to give, like giving something to someone else. 주다, 드리다, 주시다. We're going to be starting with the first one, 주다. The way that this works is you need to first take an action verb. So that's any verb where you're doing something like to eat or to go or to see or to play or to help or to make. And you conjugate that action verb as if you were making the 요 form. For example, 하다, 해. And then you're going to use 주다. So for a quick example, the verb 하다 would become 해 주다. The verb to see, 보다, 봐 주다. The verb 만들다, to make, gives you 만들어 주다. That's all you have to do for this form. In fact, that's all you have to do for all of the forms we're going to be learning today is conjugate an action verb as if you're getting the 요 form. Don't add the 요. And then attach the verb to give. 주다 can conjugate just like any verb. So you can do past tense, present tense, commands, suggestions, everything. A few common ways you might see it are 주세요, 줄게 or 줄게요, 줘 or 줘요, etc. So what this form means is literally 주다, to give, a verb. So to give the act of doing something to someone else. For example, if you are saying 만들다, to make, you would get 만들어 주다. Literally, we get to give the act of making something. So we might translate that as making something for someone else. Like making something for someone as a favor. Like, I'll make it for you. I'll make it for someone. He or she or they made it for me, as in they gave me their effort of making it. That's what you get with this form. Doing something that's a verb. So let me give you some examples. Now note that there is a space between the conjugated verb and 주다. So here our sentence, 사진, photo, 찍다, to take a photo. So 사진을 찍어 주세요. So give me the action, 주세요. Please give me the action of taking a photo. Please give me you taking a photo. You're not asking for the photo, you're asking for the verb. So please take a photo, as in please take a photo for me. Please take my photo. 사진을 찍어 주세요. 파스타를 만들어 주세요. Pasta, 만들다, to make, 주세요. So please make me pasta, as in please give me the making of pasta. 파스타를 만들어 주세요. Please make me pasta. 친구가 점심을 사줬어요. 친구, my friend, or just a friend. 점심, lunch. 사다, to buy. In this case, 사주다. So my friend gave someone the buying of lunch, literally, or my friend bought lunch for someone. 한국어를 가르쳐 줄게요. 한국어, Korean language. 가르치다, to teach. 가르쳐 주다. So you're giving someone the teaching of Korean. So you're teaching for someone. 한국어를 가르쳐 줄게요. So I will teach you Korean. Not just I will teach Korean, but I will teach it for you. I'm giving you my teaching. 친구가 매일 요리를 해줘요. 친구, my friend, or just a friend. 매일, every day. 요리하다 is to cook. So 요리를 해줘요. So my friend gives the act of cooking every day. So my friend cooks for me every day. 친구가 매일 요리를 해줘요. The same thing that we did with 주다, we can now do with another verb, 드리다. So you take an action verb stem and you conjugate it just like before. 하다 still becomes 해, but instead of 해 주다, now you get 해 드리다. 드리다 also means to give. 드리다 is a humble verb. A humble verb is specifically used when someone who considers themselves to be lower, usually this is the speaker, is giving something to someone that they see as being higher than them. And this can be something like someone who's older than you, or someone in a much higher position than you, or someone you just want to show extra respect toward. Maybe your grandparents, maybe your teacher. Again, someone lower gives something to someone higher. When you think of this verb, you can think of someone kind of doing this, like giving up to someone. Like, hey, here, I give this to you. Kind of like that. They're lowering themselves. That's why this is called a humble verb. They are humbling themselves down to give something to someone they think or they feel is higher than them or more important or more deserving or just someone they want to respect. So common conjugations for this 드리겠습니다, like 해드리겠습니다. 드릴게요 or 드릴게. 드려요 or 드려, and so on. Again, this verb is not formal. You can be speaking casually with your friend and say 드려 about someone that you gave something to. It just has to do with being humble about the person you're giving something to, not the person you're talking with necessarily, unless you're giving the person you're speaking with something, in which case, yes. 사진을 찍어 드리겠습니다. So, photo, 찍다, to take a photo. So before we had 찍어 주세요. Please take my photo. Now we have 찍어 드리겠습니다. So I will give you me taking a photo. So I will take a photo for you. Like, hey, I'll take a photo for you. 사진을 찍어 드리겠습니다. Now this would be very formal. You're not going to need to speak like this. You can just use 드릴게요. But I've given you this example just to show you. 사진을 찍어 드리겠습니다. So I will take a photo for you. 한국어를 가르쳐 드릴게요. So 한국어, Korean language, 가르치다, to teach. 드리다, to give. So I'm going to give you me teaching Korean. So I'm going to teach Korean to you or for you. 한국어를 가르쳐 드릴게요. So I'll teach you Korean. You could have just said 한국어를 가르칠게요. Like I'm going to teach Korean. But that's not necessarily that I'm teaching it for someone else. Just I'm going to do it. So 드릴게요 shows that it's done as a favor. 할머니를 위해. So grandmother, 위해, for. So now we have for grandmother. 점심, lunch, 만들다, to make, 드리다. So I gave the making of lunch for my grandmother. 할머니를 위해 점심을 만들어 드렸어요. So I gave the making of lunch for my grandmother. So I made lunch for my grandmother. Now let's go on to the last verb that we have, 주시다. Just like we did before, you take an action verb and you conjugate it. So 하다 becomes 해. And then instead of 주다 or 드리다, now we have 주시다. 주시다 also means to give. 주시다 is the honorific form of 주다. So before we had the humble version. Humble means that someone lower is giving something to someone higher. So they're humbling themselves down and giving something. 주시다, however, is when someone who's higher is giving something to someone lower. So it's not that you're lowering yourself, but it's that you're raising the person who's doing this verb. You've already seen this form actually before. 주세요 is this verb, 주시다. Every time you say 해주세요, like do this for me, it's this verb. So you can tell someone, please give me the salt. 소금 주세요. Please give me the salt. You're actually saying, not just give me the salt, but you're saying, you are higher than me. Give me the salt, like that. Other common ways you'll see it, 주셨어요. And then a really common way that you'll want to use this form is as 주시겠어요. 주시겠어요 is a question way to ask someone if they would give you something, and you can use it with verbs as well. And it sounds like saying, could you please or would you please? 아빠가 핸드폰을 사주셨어요. So 아빠, my dad, 핸드폰, cell phone, 사주다, to buy, as in to buy someone. In this case, it's going to be buy me. So my dad bought me, 주시다. So my dad, honorifically, bought me a cell phone. 아빠가 핸드폰을 사주셨어요. So my dad bought me a phone. 사진을, photo, 찍다, to take a photo. 사진을 찍어 주시겠어요? So would you please give me taking a photo? Would you please take a photo for me? Could you please take a photo for me? 사진을 찍어 주시겠어요? So use 주시겠어요 with conjugated verbs when you're asking for favors from strangers. It sounds very polite. So that is the lesson for today. So thanks for watching. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.